Feeling good now and excited to get on there and hopefully get some minutes.
What are you hearing from Coach Ellis about what you need to do as a player to make yourself like a permanent position on this team?
I mean, I think it's just having confidence and having confidence in my strengths and not focusing as much on my weaknesses, but just kind of believing in what I do well and going from there.
How would you describe your emotions heading into tomorrow? How would you best encapsulate it?
I am I'm so happy. I haven't been able to play in Cincinnati in so long, so it's nice. My family and friends have been traveling all over the place during my college career to see me play, so to finally be able to come back to my home and hopefully play in front of them is really awesome.
As someone that's from Cincinnati, I'm sure you've seen the fervor, I guess, of soccer really kind of grow during your lifetime, especially over the last couple of years at FC Cincinnati. I guess it's not a surprise to see the team here on display at Nippert Stadium.
Yeah, I mean, it's been something I brag about. I feel so proud to be from here and now have this city have such a huge soccer following. I think it's really exciting and just a testament to this city. So I think it's been awesome, and hopefully it just continues to go up.
Having watched Friday's result and been in the camp, what do you think the team needs to produce and kind of get out of tomorrow's match?
I mean, I think we have a lot of takeaways from, when was it? Thursday? Friday? Sorry. I have my days mixed up. I think there are a lot of takeaways. I think we played well. We got some in the back of the net, responded well to a goal against. So I think just going back in and playing with that same mentality is what we'll do.
What's Wilma's prediction?
She always predicts a win.
Go ahead. You heard from Chris Mack?
No. I don't know if Chris Mack could come in here. He might get bombarded, but
yeah, that's true.
That'd be cool.
When you were a kid, did you go to the match at Paul Brown, I guess back in 2008? Is that when it was?
I think I went when it was in 2004.
Okay.
At Paul Brown, yeah.
So, I mean, that kind of, I guess, had instilled in you that this is what you wanted to do. I guess, are you hoping to kind of do the same thing for some young girls that might be in the area?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when I watched them play, that was when Mia and Christine Lilly, Julie Foudy were all still playing. So, and I know how huge that was for me just to see them play in person. It was such an inspiration. So I hope that this game can kind of serve that same purpose and inspire girls and even boys that wants to say they can't be in our shoes someday.
We can be a lot more patient in our build-up and in our attack, a little bit more sophisticated. I think sometimes we are such an aggressive team and like to go forward all the time, but I think we need to, I think I've said this every year I've been on the team, but I think we need to be able to control the game in a different way. And I think we've dominated in a lot of the areas, and it's tough when you can dominate a certain way to try to dominate other ways as well. But I think going forward, that's something that we'll need to work on in order to continue to stay at the top where we want to be.
People talk about this period for the national team as a transition period, a transition phase. How do you view that going to this point?
I mean, I agree with it in part. I think we're past transition phase now. I don't think there's any more really. I mean, maybe a player or two will pop up, but probably not someone just out of the blue. So I feel like we've gone through the player pool and basically seen everyone. I think in terms of our play, it has been tough with the changeover and everything, but I still think it needs to be better. And I think our sophistication in the attack and just tactics-wise needs to be better, and hopefully with more consistency with everyone and just more training days as well. I mean, obviously, having games during the season is tough just because we don't really get a lot of time on the field and on the training pitch. But I think things will start to narrow in quite a bit from now.
What do you make of the playing surface?
It's not great, to be honest. It actually reminds me of the old Harvard Stadium, which if you've ever played there. Kind of an iconic stadium, though, so it's not all bad nostalgia. But I mean, I never want to play on turf, obviously. That takes nothing away from the crowd, and it seems like tons of tickets were sold. And what is it, FC Cincinnati? What they've been able to do here is really cool. Kind of seems like a real sort of cool grassroots kind of movement. But I wish the roots were grass. Yes, if you.
Do you think this is a market that could potentially, obviously I wouldn't expect you've done any extensive market research on Cincinnati, but I mean, just given the attendance, you guys are a couple hundred tickets away from 30,000 for tomorrow, which is pretty massive. I mean, do you think just kind of taking this situation on face value and factoring FC Cincinnati, is this maybe you think a marketplace where NWSL might be worth their while to kind of kick the tires here, see if there might be a chance to put a team here?
Yeah, for sure. That's a really encouraging sign for us to be able to get that many people in a non-MLS market. I mean, I think the team is probably eventually going to go for an MLS team. So I think if an NWSL team can come in under that umbrella, I think that would be huge. Obviously, they have a hometown favorite now. If a team ever did come here, I'm sure the underworkings would get her here, which would be really cool. I always love when we can get kind of hometown players playing there and be able to kind of maximize that fan base. But hopefully eventually that would be great.